All right, welcome to all the Moogles, Chocobos, and Tonberries out there. We are here for Moogle's First Seed, Part 2. I'm Ravlin, joined once again by Vamp. How you doing this evening, Vamp?
Not too bad. Great to be here.
Evening, morning, whatever time of day it is. Time's an illusion, right?
That's absolutely right.
So, what we are doing, if you have not seen the first in the Moogle's First Seed series, I would suggest that you go check that out. I will definitely put a link in the description of this video. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to go over the differences between last seed's flags and this seed's flags. But before we even begin that, I do want to point out that we do have a wiki for Worlds Collide now. It's wiki.ff6wc.com. And that is a place where you can find just oodles and oodles of resources, including links to Moogle's First Seed, a video introduction to Worlds Collide by Ravlin and Vamp. Hey, look at that.
Neat.
So we are staying with the same seed name, but because the flags have changed, it will generate a different seed. On this first page, the only change is it's still a 7-character 10s per seed, but this time there are 4 dragons required. So before we can get through the door that leads to where Guardian would be in the vanilla game, we are going to have to kill 4 dragons. The starting party has changed from random no go-go Umaro to just random. That does leave the possibility of a go-go Umaro start, which will be fun and interesting for everyone involved. Lots of fighting and body slamming. The other flag that has changed here is the commands for the characters. They have been changed to all random unique commands, with the only things being excluded are possess and X magic. So that
Now,
means
does that mean that you can't use a gem box
nope,
or?
you can use a gem box. You just won't be able to get X magic as a base ability. So, for example, Morph will not be replaced with X magic, but you can still use the gem box if you want X magic.
Very good.
Just X magic with, say, an economizer equipped and a set of earrings gets really silly powerful very quickly. Other than that, all of these flags are the same. In battle, we have upped the scaling to progress times 3. So instead of progress times 2, where they gain 2 levels for every check, this time they're going to gain 3 levels. And their max scaling level is 99. That means you're going to need to be a little bit more careful at the beginning and the end of a seed. At the beginning, it's easier for enemies to outlevel you, whereas at the end, because their max scaling level is 99, if you go over what you need, you can also get yourself into just a little bit of trouble, but not a huge amount. For bosses, there have been a couple of flags that I have put on. One is the no undead flag. That means if I hit something like Phantom Train or Haydn and the Haydnites, I actually have to fight them. I can't just use a Phoenix Down or an Elixir or an X Potion on them or a Revivify. I have also turned on Normalize and Distort stats, so that basically for bosses with low stats, think like Leader from Doma Castle, their base stats are raised, and all bosses have some random distortion applied to their stats. One thing I learned in a seed a little while ago was that means Girl in Tier 3 of Kefka can have up to 27,000 HP.
As opposed to the normal 10,000, I believe it's 10,000.
As opposed to the traditional 9999.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I was very confused when I hit her for quite a bit, and then she still healed for quad 9s.
Um, I think also what's noteworthy about this tab, though, even though that the bosses and enemies can scale to level 99, you do not have the actual final battles scaled. So those typically that would mean that Final Kefka will be level 71.
Yep. And again, I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it makes the final battles feel epic. Um, you're not going to go in and find a level 30 Kefka and be able to take him out fairly quickly with that reduced HP pool. Um,
Mhm.
it also means that, like, it's not going to be weird because we have scale element on. They're not going to be casting spells that you aren't expecting. They're not going to be using different abilities. It makes the final battle something that you can plan for and prepare for
Right.
much more easily, anyway.
It would be kind of interesting to see a Kefka just constantly casting Grand Train Quasar and you know
While
Merton at you.
while it would be interesting, it could potentially be completely terrible. That's not what I'm going for right now. Um, and then for encounters, I have turned both random and fixed encounters from shuffle to random plus 20% bosses. So that means that, you could hit the same encounter pack many, many places, and 20% of the encounters in the game are going to be bosses.
Now this is a feature I really truly enjoy. Not only for seeing random bosses in places, but you get the chance for boosted experience and possible item grabs anywhere.
Yes, it is absolutely a double edged sword. It can work to your benefit if you find a boss that you can easily defeat that gives a good reward and good XP, or it can ruin your day. There's kind of no middle ground there. All of the magic options have remained the same as the very first seed. For the items, everything equipable is the same. Starting golden items are the same. Both shops and chests are in what is called the random tiered option, which means that all of the items in the game have been broken up into tiers. I believe it's like tiers 1 through 5, tier 1 being potions and tier 5s being illuminas. And things in lower tiers are more common, and things in higher tiers are much rarer. Uh, that should make it a little bit more challenging to find powerful items than just a shuffle plus 20% random.
So does that mean that the beginning Narsh town will have lower tier items, and say World of Ruin Jador would have higher tier items?
That is a feature that hasn't been implemented yet. Right now, it is a feature that we are discussing and trying to figure out how to implement. Right now, it is just all of the chests and all of the shops in the game are considered equal, and they all have an equal chance to have low tier versus high tier items.
Gotcha.
And also, I have turned on no breakable rods, so I will not be able to find, namely, fire, ice, thunder, and pearl rods in shops. So I will have to find other ways to get through the seed.
But we can still get lucky with chess.
Absolutely. And then everything else on the other is exactly the same. I didn't change it. I thought I had changed one other thing, but now that I'm clicking through it, I can't find it, so that's about it. I'm going to save these flags here by sending them to UVamp just so you can take a look at them if you want.
Okay, doke.
And just like you need to do for the first one, you need to choose your ROM file. We cannot help you finding that ROM. Select that you are not a robot, presuming that you are not a robot, and then generate your seed.
Unless you are a robot, then we'll have to create another website for that.
I'm not entirely sure how we would handle that one, but that's a problem for not now. So that, just so that people are aware, that will generate a little zipped file. You can open it up, and it looks like this. I'm just going to grab the ROM onto my desktop, and this little text file will tell you the things that you need to know, but this is not a spoiler log.
Nope. It just tells you about all the flag sets that you've clicked on and selected for the seed.
Exactly. Which is actually usually something I keep open on one of my second monitors.
It is also good to note you do have the option of unzipping your folder when you download the file. But some emulators that I know of, like SNES 9X, actually will run the ROM right through the zip file itself. Um, you don't necessarily have to unzip every folder depending on what software you're using.
All right, and now I can just change to that. There we go. Oops. Oh, Lord. Oh, I hate it when I try to drag a window around and it resizes itself instead.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, 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 no. That's not what I wanted you to do at all. All right. And we're going to turn on my controller so that the buttons work. And we're off. So let's see. We're starting this one with Realm and Cyan. I'm actually pretty happy with that opening. How do you feel about an opening of Realm and Cyan?
Well, that all depends on what their commands are. So let's find out.
So it appears Realm doesn't have a command. I believe that is some sort of bug and that it will appear. I don't think it appears like if it's dance and you don't have a dance yet.
Could it possibly be that it's selected one of the excluded?
I believe in that case it would actually just replace it with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Cyan has control. Control is actually one of Realm's vanilla abilities if you equip the fake mustache on her. It does have some niche uses, but is not one of the high tier abilities that I am super excited to see. All right, and we're going to head off, and I am going to start off this seed much like I started off the last one. I'm going to remember to set my configs, battle speed 6, message speed 1. I prefer the memory cursor. Save, and then head into Narsh and do some looting.
And you don't ever forget your Moogle charms, because you can run into a random encounter when you're not expecting it.
Random boss encounter in these particular flags.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not going to check that monster in a box right now. I don't really feel confident. If there are certain abilities, if I had, I would absolutely check the monster in a box because there are a lot that I'd be able to take care of. But with control and something that I think is probably actually dance, I'm not super excited about that. So let's do some looting.
Well, to be honest, also when you first start out a seed, the monsters in the boxes, you only have about 2 different monster in the boxes that you can straight up kill without any equipment advancement. There's the Lobos and the Specters. Those are pretty easily killed early on, but they're really not at the moment worth looking for at this time for any reason. You're not going to get experience, and you're not going to really progress in any way killing those. So when you do have the opportunity of getting like a fixed dice or something that would merit X fight, that's when you'd probably want to start looking for the monsters in boxes.
Yep. So you can see very quickly that the shops look much different. There are lots of things that aren't necessarily normally available. Like in that item shop had like skeins and some tools and various things. This one has tents in the weapon shop. So you can see very quickly that even a random tiered option even just changes how the shops look.
And one thing to note, though, if you randomize shops like this, definitely keep your eyes open for the restorative items, whether they're Phoenix Downs, tents, dried meat. Um, I've had to play a few seeds where I had to completely rely on tents because I had no Phoenix Downs on the seed.
Yep, and that is something that you just sort of need to be flexible enough and aware enough to take into account. This is the second cursed ring I've seen in shops. Cursed rings they have, I think, one niche use if you wear them during the tentacles battle. But other than that, because no, that's the relic ring that I'm thinking of, isn't it?
The relic ring that makes you cold?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not even sure the cursed ring has an... Oh my good lord, dude, get out of my way.
NPC strikes again.
The true boss of this randomizer.
Alright, so we got Phoenix Downs, sleeping bags, potions.
Yep, I'm gonna sell a few things here. I don't really need that black belt. I mean, already I'm feeling the pinch a little bit in terms of having enough money. Just because of the lack of good sellable items.
So, here's something to note. I know you can use tents when your party members have died to revive them. Can you use sleeping bags in the same way?
No. It will not work. A sleeping bag will not work on a swooned party member.
So that is the major difference, guys, between tents and sleeping bags. Not only are also sleeping bags much faster to use, too.
Yes. I have actually, since playing this randomizer, really started to prefer sleeping bags. But they do have that downside of you need Phoenix Downs as well. I was really hoping that South Figaro here would give me a little
Doesn't
bit...
look like you're getting a whole lot of good items here.
Yeah, a little bit more of a boost would have been nice, but, maybe I speak too soon.
So South Figaro is usually a very good check early on. Has all of these chests available to you. Even though that the check that Ravelin is about to pass is the Celis Cell check, we can come back and do that later. But it's also good to note that there are other shops in the world that do have the hidden items. We have the Returner's Hideout that has quite a bit of stuff in there. So there's still a few more places we can check.
Oh, certainly. I'm not worried about it at this point. And even if I were worried about it, my solution would be, take a few battles, gain a few levels, and then start doing character gated checks in the hopes that I actually get some of the high tier items from those checks. Because it's in a set of flags like this, those high tier item rewards become more valuable because they are rarer.
So you just picked up one of my favorite items in the game.
What's that?
And that's the Merit Award.
Why is that one of your favorite items in the game?
Because there is a flag that you can change in this game to make random equipment unique to characters. And the Merit Award actually does kind of bypass that flag. You can equip some heavy equipment. You can use Illuminas and Paladin shields on characters that would not normally be able to equip those. So Merit Awards are awesome.
Yep, and in a flag set like this, where it is original plus a random selection, there could be reasons why I would want to equip the Merit Award on a particular character if they can't normally equip, say heavy armor. But
in this flag set, you're probably not going to use it, though.
Correct. So, as you said before, I am checking out this returner's hideout to see, if I can get something going here. So far, these chests have continued to be underwhelming.
This is normally my go-to, to be honest.
That's fine. And I am... Ooh, that amount of gold's nice, though. I'll certainly take that. And I am unable to use... to go down into the Leet River here because I don't have Terra yet. So this is absolutely just a getting prepared stop. So I'm actually going to see, can you equip... Yeah, okay. So I wanted the Da Vinci brush on Realm because it boosts her magic power, and she is mainly a magic user. And let's see, what else? Putting on some white capes would be nice. And the running shoes. So I'm going through, and what I do here is I want to make sure that my characters are equipped with the best things that they can be equipped with, so that if I try to go, buy potions or something and sell items, that I don't accidentally sell my best items. Does that make sense? Because if my characters are wearing them, I can't sell them.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm actually going to head to the World of Ruin, and I'm going to go to South Figaro again. Why am I going to South Figaro again?
So the difference between the World of Balance and World of Ruin South Figaro is the items are a little bit different in the shops. So Ravlin can check the shops, and also the items that he's picking up. They are decoupled from each other. So he's going around grabbing the same locations, but getting all different items.
Yep. And I had a point, and it just left my brain.
I was also going to mention again, we say this often, but save early, save often. I would say right about now, Ravlin is closer to the maybe the 12-minute mark, and with all these item checks, definitely want to keep saving so that way, if we do end up fighting a boss that we can't
handle,
we can't handle. Yeah, the time loss is kind of devastating sometimes. So always keep that in mind, even while you're just treasure hunting. More sleeping bags.
Yeah,
love them.
Picked up a few more of those now that I found those chests with money. Picked up a few warp stones, a few softs. Again, just some of those status items are going to be very useful.
So I noticed you've only picked up 5 warp stones.
Yeah,
and I know why. It's because that there's only a few locations where they're extremely viable, especially if you don't have the warp spell already. And those locations are you can use them in the Cave in the Veldt once you reach the back, the reward check. In Zozo, whether you're either at the top of Zozo doing the Ramu check, or if you're at the inside the Mount Zozo check in the World of Ruin. I don't really use you can also use them in the World of Ruin Narsh town. You can't use them in the World of Balance, though.
Correct, because Narsh has effectively been taken over by monsters in the World of Ruin, so the game considers it a dungeon for all intents and purposes. And because I have those warp stones, I'm actually going to go do the Mount Zozo check right now, because it has lots of chests in it.
Absolutely. And also, there's also the Zone Eater check, which the warp stone comes in really in handy. So that's about 4 or 5 warp stones that are really great. And then you can also use them in the Esper Mountain for the realm check as well. So definitely some good areas where that can save you a considerable amount of time getting out.
Yes. And 5 always feels about the right number to me. I haven't sat down and like determined exactly how many is the most I could possibly want in a seed. But 5 has just been the number that I started buying, and it's the number that I've stuck with ever since I started.
I mean, I think 6 or 7 is optimal, but the chances of you actually using all 5 are pretty slim as well.
Ooh, lots of gold here. Lots and lots of gold. So I chose this check for a couple of reasons. One, there are no required fights. 2, there is not a there's not a boss. There's lots of treasure chests. There is this dragon, and I'm just gonna see what this dragon is. This dragon is scaled, so it will be level 6, which isn't out of the realm of possibility. So we're gonna try it. It'll probably go poorly.
Alright. So the neat thing about dragons, though, whether they're scaled or not, you can insta-kill them. I know I like to preach this, but Ragnarok will insta-kill dragons by turning them into items.
Yep. So this one's not going to work. But now I do know that the red dragon is here, so if I need to and I find, say, a red jacket or a flame shield, I could come back here if I need a little bit of a power boost.
And we also need some dragon kills for the requirements of the seed.
This is true. We do only need 4 dragons. 4 is a common choice because 3 of the dragons are locked behind characters. 1 is locked here behind Cyan, 1 is locked behind Locke, and 1 is locked behind Edgar. And then there's the one in the Fanatic's Tower. So 4 dragons, in addition to being, nice and 50%, it is also... there are 4 dragons that you can find in the overworld without any characters required and without requiring Fanatic's Tower.
So I know you said in the previous seed that the Bone Club is nothing to laugh at, and truthfully, in this seed right now, it looks like it might be your best weapon at this point.
I think you might be right. Yep. And we have the Magicite Ifrit. See, I was right. It is Dance. You can see that on this status screen here.
Very nice.
Ifrit gives us Fire, Meteor, Float, Mute, and Drain. Okay. So at first glance, I'm like super not excited by this. On second glance and thinking about it, Float is a useful spell. Particularly for Dirt Dragon and Tier 1 of Final Kefka. Mute is a useful spell for Tier 2 of Final Kefka. And Meteor is a very low-powered spell, but it hits all the targets and it's non-elemental. So you know what? It might end up being the best chance we've got.
And Meteor goes right through Reflex, so you can use that as an option anytime.
Yep. So that does now mean all of the enemies here are level 9. This is getting a little more leveled than I strictly want them to be. So I think I'm going to go take a fight or 2 here outside of the beginner's house in Narsh. See if I can gain just a couple of levels to be a little bit more comfortable and maybe learn some spells on Realm.
And this is one of the best spots to start off trying to get a few levels in, because you do have the water bucket that will heal you to full right next to the encounters. This one might hurt. Not if they can't hit you.
Not if they can't hit me, and I can use Summon Ifrit. That'll do some damage. I hope. And can it doom itself? That would actually be very useful.
There you have it, folks. Control is great.
So here we have an example of, that was a fight that could be very, very scary. Um, it's a pretty powerful enemy, has some special abilities, and all I've got is control and the ability to summon an Esper. Sometimes you just got to get a little creative and give it a shot.
So it looks like you already picked up fire.
Yep. I'm generally not a big proponent of the level 1 spells. I tend not to find them super useful. But it is there. I just think Ifrit's a better choice at this very moment.
Mm-hmm.
Level 6. I'm going to see if I can find another one of those dinosaurs to cast Doom on itself.
So if you don't find yourself getting a whole lot of levels, there's always checking another place. And since Realm does have the dances, it is in Ravlin's best interest to kind of collect maybe a couple more of those dances to be more viable with his team.
Yep.
Which dances do you recommend, Ravlin?
So it depends on what you need. Earth Blues has Landslide, which is effectively a faster animation flare. So that's always nice. I do like the Elf Fire on Love Sonata. It tends to be a pretty powerful spell.
I love Elf Fire. It is kind of a rare cast, though.
It is. And I do like Water Rondo has some decent AoE effects. All right. I'm now headed to Doma Castle because this is a very quick check. It is one fight, and we'll know very quickly if it's possible or not to do. Possibly possible.
Possible. Hey, it looks like you have a dance.
I do have the Love Sonata. I'm going to wait until I exhaust my MP before I do that.
But there's also some dances that actually heal your party, right?
There are. I know Wind Song has Sunbath, and something else does as well.
I know the one, the area on the grassy plains that'll get you a heal dance, and the one in the mountains and like Mount Colts that'll learn you the dance to heal as well.
That is Wind Song and Earth Blues. All right, so that diffuser's a little less than nice. Let's go try Esper Mountain. Again, and if you were in a situation where this was your only check, just go grind a few levels, gain a few levels from a random battle or two, and you should be in business. But I generally find going and checking other checks to be more fruitful than banging my head against a wall.
Yep. Not only do you know what you're kind of skipping, that you know what to prepare for to come back. But you also have a few other checks to do as well. There is Cyan's Dream, which is less than desirable at this point, because you're going to get kind of locked in there. But the Hauser's house behind the paintings, there's some good opportunities to make some levels there as well.
That is another cursed ring. So many cursed rings.
They're cursed.
That force shield, actually.
That is a game changer, to be honest, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Gives quite a bit of magic defense and magic evade, and cuts the main elements in half.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know I said this in the last seed, but the magic evade and evasion are not to be laughed at. If you can get a high value in either one of those stat points, it doesn't matter how much damage attack is going to do to you if they can't hit you.
All right, so let's go take a look here at Esper Mountain. Once again, save before going in anywhere. Heck, I even saved before going into Phasma just from muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And any new player getting in that habit of saving all the time, they'll be in pretty good shape.
So whoops, wrong way. I can see this NPC, so I know it's not a character that I can recruit here. It's going to be either an Esper or an item, but again, still looking for spells and good equipment, so I will absolutely take it.
And we might find a boss that's easily killable, like this Narapa right here.
Less easily killable if he absorbs fire. This might be a beat them down strategy.
This is definitely a damage race at this point. The Narapa shouldn't have a whole lot of HP.
Not at level 9, no.
But Narapa is pretty easily killed. This is the boss that is normally located at the end of the floating continent.
Where you're fighting him under a timer.
Mm-hmm.
Did he just kill himself with roulette? I mean, okay, go off, I suppose.
This is why they say rando's gonna rando. You never know what you're gonna get.
All right, so I am going to switch her
Ooh,
off.
that is nice.
I'm going to switch her off this as soon as she learns float. But, you know, I'll put this on. So there is one odd thing. You can't use a warp stone in this room. I don't entirely know why. If you go one screen over, though, you can use your warp stone to leave.
I think it might have to do with something about the event triggering in the same room.
I think you are correct. It's just one of those, like, why?
And that's always something to keep in mind. If you feel like it's an area that it should be able to use a warp stone, try the next room and see if it works. If it doesn't, then that area might not be warp stoneable.
Once again, so far not seeing any decent equipment in shops. This might just be a seed of scraping by with whatever I can find.
Mm-hmm.
Couple more of those. Although, go ahead.
I was gonna say, finding that force shield though is kind of hopeful for some other good tiered items coming up.
Yes. Dragoon boots.
That's a must buy.
I'll be greedy and buy 2.
There you go.
So I am going to put those on Cyan, definitely. And she can have the Moogle charm. And for Cyan, I am going to actually put on the slightly weaker gold lance, because that jump is going to let him do double damage, which is going to be far more than the 10 extra battle power that the Bone Club was giving him.
Mm-hmm. You just won't feel like a Yeti anymore.
Yeah. And I do like the Yeti. All right, so my choices are Cyan's Dream, try again for Air Force, which I know isn't a character, Chardnook, or Kefka at Narsh. These are not the most enjoyable choices. I think I will go try Chardnook, or Ozer's Mansion.
Yeah, At this point, I would either try the Chatternook, or I would go for the Tritok um, location. The Kefka and Narsh is not so great doing it with only one character in your party.
Right, which is why I'm not particularly excited about doing that right now. This check gets me a few fixed encounters, which might actually really help me gain some levels. So I am interested in that. So, it is worth trying. And it has the possibility of giving me a character, which I need for progression. Although, actually...
The item shop might have some equipment though too, right?
It might. I'm not as intimately familiar with this random tiered shop setting, so let's see. Shadow Edges and Water Edges. If we find anyone who can throw, we have infinite things to throw.
So I noticed that the Water Edges are pretty cheap. What's the difference between those and the rods?
So they... hold on. That was a really good piece of equipment. That cat hood is real good. It doubles your the money that you can get, in addition to just having really good stats. The skeins are about half as effective as rods. They're about half as effective, and they require you to have a character with throw. So they are less powerful than the rods, but they are still quite good if you have them.
They also cost significantly less than rods as well. So it's a good way if you don't have a whole lot of cash on you too.
Yep. I am taking advantage of the multi-summon espers, just that Ramu is the best nuke I've got right now that's AoE. And you can see Cyan doing some decent damage with his jumping.
Cyan's a Dragoon now.
Yep. We're doing Dragoon strats, and we have Ultros. This is the Ultros and Chumpon fight. I can tell because Ultros is far enough close to the party that Chumpon will be behind him.
Yeah, so sprite location on the actual battle screen does have a lot to do with the formation.
And it's particularly important if you know the 4 different Ultroses, which one is which. This one is the one that you fight when you are going towards the floating continent. The one where it is a side attack where you guys are surrounding Ultros is the one in the Opera House. And then the other regular sprite of Ultros is the one on Esper Mountain. And then the one on the Leet River is Ultros submerged in water. So that one's pretty easy to tell.
Also, the one on Esper Mountain will, even though it does look like this sprite, it will move on the screen towards you, and it still can be affected by Sketch, no matter where it is located in the game. So you can insta-kill Ultros 3 with Sketch. However, if you cast Stop on a boss like that has a scripted insta-kill mechanic, the script will no longer run if Stop is effective against that boss. So I have used a Stop mechanic on Ultros 3 before, and finding out that Sketch no longer works.
I have been rendered very sad by that myself. So we're seeing one of the downsides of Dance. It's uncontrollable, untargetable, Realm is casting spells that are just not effective on what we're fighting at all. In fact, that fire, the elf fire that she's using, will actually heal Chumpon, so that's less than good. So I'm actually kind of glad she took a fall there. And just to hedge my bets here, I am going to try to eliminate Ultros. Although it occurs to me that doesn't even matter. All I need to do is kill Chumpon here, and he's going to sneeze me out of the battle. There's going to be no XP anyway, so... If this battle were to give me XP, I could kill the Ultros first, even though he doesn't need to be killed, to give me the breathing room to revive Realm and get her standing. But since that's not the case, we don't need to do that.
Nope. Yeah, when you have too many threats on the battlefield, it's always good to try to eliminate a few of them. But in this case, you can hopefully trigger the sneeze before they do enough damage to you.
Oof. I'm trying to keep my HP above about 150 because that's that keeps me out of the range of getting fired and regular attacked and dying. But that tentacle was not kind.
The tentacle is hitting you for 50% right now.
But one of the advantages of a Dragoon strat is that Cyan's up in the air. He is invulnerable. So he is quite safe. Especially if he keeps blocking like that.
Now, who has the force shield on?
Realm. Of course she does.
The force shield did not pan out in this fight, but I promise you, it's really good against magic.
It is. Realm, unfortunately, just doesn't have the best selection of dances to choose from right now, and her MP pool is pretty limited. So she's doing less harm by just taking a nap through this battle and letting the adult take care of it. Although she is my favorite murder child. Come on, Chumpon. Sneeze, please. See, in the past seed, we had found breakable rods, which would make this battle in particular much faster. But when you're in a seed that doesn't have those breakable rods, you sort of just gotta, muddle through until you get your more powerful options. Ooh, didn't think he could do fire too. Glad I was in the air for that one.
Oh yeah, that would have been nasty.
That would have been a wipe, and I would have been very sad about it. Ooh, thank you for that block. Now, there is definitely an argument that could be made that I should have done more shopping or more treasure hunting before going on checks. Because there is a chance that any of the shops that I check could have better gear in them. But I tend to prefer doing maybe 10 minutes of shopping and treasure hunting at the beginning and then jumping into checks. I like to just start getting the progression of the seed going rather than, shopping and hoping for the perfect gear set. I think part of the randomizer is, making do with what you have. And I sort of enforce that upon myself.
Well, I mean, there's always both options of, playing. You can either keep going and keep checking, or you can do what you're doing and try to get in there and get some work done. I believe a lot of that is the racer and you talking, though.
It is. And do keep in mind, I do come at this often from a racer's perspective. There we go. Thank you for that sneeze. I'm actually going to head out and save because these battles have not been nice, and I want my realm to be alive. But I just don't want to do that battle again at all.
But at least we have the door open.
Yep. Lights on and the door open.
Did you know that you can actually leave town right of the auction house?
Yes, I do know that. I keep forgetting it, though. I love how this is called Auerzer's house, even though everyone else calls it his mansion.
It is pretty big.
Yes. I am going to not fight that particular battle. In fact, I'm going to try not to fight any other battles in here.
You still have the one to get through the other door.
True. And those 3 doors, actually, there are ways to carry that effect through the game and do lots of very, very strange things. It's called the door timer glitch. That door timer glitch does lots of very weird things to this game.
It's very, very neat stuff if you can take the time and figure it out. It has a lot of effects and uses for it.
Yes, it is something that is generally considered not kosher for races, unless specifically stated. But like I said, you can do lots of very, very silly things.
Hey, cranes.
Yep, so I'm going to cast Meteor because it will A, target both of them, and B, is non-elemental.
That house must be really big.
Yeah, right? Meteor is unfortunately only a 38 power spell. And really expensive, this seed. Uh, 62 mana is quite a bit. No, I got nothing there. So you'll see that Realm is taking quite very low damage from anything elemental, and that's because she has both a cat hood and a force shield on. There's not a lot that's going to get through her to do significant damage.
What do you like to normally use your Magicite on?
Oh, the Magicite item?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm praying. So Magicite is an item that will summon a random Esper. That could be anything, any Esper in the game except for Odin or Raiden. And it can, for example, summon Crusader, which can kill your party.
Which I have done before.
I've done it more than once. Give me something good. You know what? Not what I was hoping for, but Genji gloves have the possibility of being very useful later.
All right. Well, at least the other bosses did not increase in level.
Yep. So actually, I think I'm going to go try that Air Force battle again. I think I can take it this time. I've gained a few levels. It's going to be around level 12. I'm around level 16, so I have a little bit of a advantage there. And that combined with some of the improved gear that Realm has, I think will make this a much more achievable battle. But we do know this isn't a character, so that means I either have to go to the Dream or Kefka at Narsh next. Which is not exciting.
Not exciting with 2 characters, but definitely doable. Hopefully it's at Kefka at Narsh, because that's a lot of fighting in the Science Dream to get a character at the end. But there is a way to get to the Kefka battle in the Kefka at Narsh with little effort. You can control your character to move through that maze up there. If you're very quick, you can actually bypass all encounters and go straight to the boss. But chances are you can get away with just only fighting one before you fight the boss.
Yep. And that is something, that particular route is mapped out in the beginner's guide with an image. So you can check that out there if you are unaware of how to do that. I'm actually thinking of doing the Dream next, mostly because I really hate doing the Kefka. I think I'll have better chances of beating 3 bosses with 2 characters than I will of beating 1 boss with 1 character.
Mm-hmm.
Realm, sweetheart, now is not the time to take a nap. So you see, Cyan is taking way more damage from that tech laser than Realm was, and that's because of the magically defensive gear that she has on. I was so hoping you weren't going to do that.
So we're playing character shuffle right now?
Yeah, and I'm gonna start just keep summoning Ramuh because I think that's going to be better than trying to play that shuffle. Because Realm's magic defense and magic evade is high enough, I think with her just trying to take this fight out, it's going to go easier than if I try to get Cyan up as well. And look at that.
Which is better, Ramuh or Bolt 2?
For nothing else, I think Bolt 2 just because it's faster. But I don't know about actual power level. And also because I'm going to equip this with Fire 3 immediately. Because it's real good.
Yep. It's also good to note though the stat gains on level up on the Espers. I truly enjoy them. I take full advantage of them when I do see them. So I might be more reluctant to learn other spells if I know my characters are going to get a surge of levels.
Yes. So the Esper stat boosts are what I consider very nice, but not required. You know, they are not required to beat the game by any stretch, but they can make things very, very silly. You know, you can give Realm 100, over 100 magic power. And that's quite effective. it's a little silly in terms of, it will do just stupid amounts of damage. But it is by no means required to actually be successful in the randomizer.
Mhm.
It occurs to me, I actually think the vanilla Larry, Curly, and Moe here is possibly the one of the worst bosses I could find. So Cyan is effectively immune to everything these tentacles can do because he has on the haste shoes. Running shoes. I can use actual item names. So this is that one case where having the relic ring would be useful, because instead of draining your HP here, they would heal you. But I believe that is like the one and only niche case for relic ring, unless there are others that you know of that I don't.
There are a few weird strategies. They're a little bit more. They're a little out there. They're not very viable in a race stance. They're just fun to play with.
So you're asking about using Magicite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using it now. Realm doesn't have a lot of MP left, so
Of course, Ifrit.
yeah, the one I have, just what I needed. Oh, I didn't realize you couldn't use a potion while they were held by the tentacle. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Realm is dead.
And with the fact that that didn't kill that tentacle, this is looking bad. Well, let's see if a Magicite will do it. I suppose a Bahamut here could save the day. Ragnarok is not.
Ragnarok is not ideal.
So, how do you feel about going and checking that Kefkat and Arch battle?
It looks a little bit better at this point.
And it will give us information. If it is not a character, we will know 100% that this Cyan's Dream is required. And then I could work on preparing for that. I could go and try to find another set of running shoes. As an example.
We could find more running shoes. As we stated earlier, though, there's also some other shops that we could check for some hidden items, and even checking the shops themselves, either for those shoes or for some better equipment. But if that doesn't work out either, just grinding a few more levels out and tentacles should be no problem.
Correct. This is again one of those progression settings where grinding more levels can always be an answer. It might not be the fun answer, it might not be the fast answer, but it will get you through.
So we did just see a vanilla character. Maga is behind Umaro.
So we do know that a character is behind the Umaro check. That is not the vanilla spot for Mog, though. Oh, it's Edgar.
No, it is not. But you do need Mog for Umaro.
Yes.
In the vanilla game.
It's French vanilla. I'll give you that. How's that?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm going to give this a shot with Realm because she is a pretty powerful magic user. I think she's a little bit more versatile than Cyan is right now. I could be wrong.
That Edgar is going to be so good for your party.
It depends on what abilities he has. So if you go
that's
and
true.
stand in this spot, you will be able to avoid all of these soldiers.
Oh, that's a neat spot. I actually used a different one.
Huh. I learned this particular route by watching the speedruns. So I'm sure there are other routes you can take, but this is just the one that I know.
Oh, well, where you're standing right now is actually where I go. You can hit that spot first try, though. If you don't
Really?
bump it. Yeah, you can't bump into any walls, but I've been able to do it a few times.
No, I was more really at the Inferno here.
Oh. So we're not going to try fire tonight.
No, I have learned. Ooh. 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 Good lord.
So this is one of those bosses where it is still kind of a little difficult, even with the level grind. This is where items are more of an advantage push if you can find them.
Yes. But we're gonna... Oh. Rip. So, interestingly enough, that is not a game over here. I'm just going to see what this fight is. I don't think that's actually going to get me the levels that I need here.
At least you have a fast way of killing these enemies.
I do. It gets me magic points and a couple of potions, but no XP. So, yeah. Nope, that's going to be a reset.
Alright, so we do know that progression is behind Kefkat and Arsh, but that still does not mean that that the Science Dream doesn't have progression.
True.
So we still have an option.
We still do have an option. I am going to try a couple of things. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on that memento ring. That should protect against the stone. And just see if I have some other options that might be helpful here.
Do you have any fire resistance?
I have the cat hood and the force shield, which both have fire, so... Now, if I had any elixirs, I would actually take a couple of those M-Tech armors to try to gain some more spells, but I don't have any. I'm going to actually try... Nope, not going to make that. I was going to try your strategy there.
Yeah, it's super tight. You can't bump into anything.
And as you have probably seen, my movement is not the cleanest. So you can see our Bolt 2 is far more effective than his Bolt 2.
Ooh, that was nice.
Good lord, though. Just taking 3 hits a turn is...
Yep, that's game over right there. Oh, what? Oh, that's right. You're level 18.
Mm-hmm. And there's a memento ring being, once again, very useful.
So for anyone watching that don't understand the actual level magic, the level magic it will only affect those characters if those characters' levels are divisible by that number. So, if Realm was level 20 on Realm, that would have affected Realm.
Come on, be the last one that I need. Oh, no, you have more than 4,000 HP. That's super unfortunate.
That's interesting because I also thought it would be about 4,000 HP.
Ooh, oh, clutch. That was a clutch block. That was a clutch block there, Realm. Oh, Realm, keep those blocks up. Once again, we are proving evade and magic evade. Very, very useful here.
So that's why even though if you try to use optimum in the equipment selection, it might not equip your force shield. So make sure if you do have one, put it on. It's going to be good for you.
Is it going to be about 6,000 for this Inferno? No, still no? Good lord.
Well, it's the battle at Narch. You got to get them to run away from you.
All right, Magicite and Hope. No.
I don't like this strat.
I mean, I'm not a super big fan of it either, although it is reducing the number of targets on the field for a second.
Alright, this could be huge.
I think I just killed myself.
Oh no.
I am...
That is... So this is, interesting.
So here's the thing. Will it still be there?
It didn't give you, confirmation for killing the boss. It just said annihilated.
True. I don't actually... Well, I mean, realistically, I can't do anything here, so... I'm just going to reset. But that was... This is why I don't like using Magicite, because I seem to get Crusader a disproportionate number of times. So I think let's try a little shopping, see what we can find before I resort to grinding a few levels. As kind as the last seed was, this seed has really stepped it up a little. Those Mirage Vests might be useful. They might not be. Are you up on why Mirage Vests are a particularly interesting find? Or have you ever used the Mirage Vest?
Me? I love the Mirage Vest.
I couldn't remember who it was that was, extolling the virtues of the Mirage Vest.
Oh no, yeah, that was me.
So I picked up a couple of those. Let's see what else we can find. We're finding tools everywhere this seed. I have a feeling that means there won't be a tool user in the seed. Because that's just my luck. See? More tool use. Nope, nothing there is particularly interesting. Echo screen, coronet. One nice thing about going to the World of Ruin Albrook is that there isn't a soldier there, so I can just run and check the that particular box. Nope, none of that's very good. I believe this guy's clock, power sash. Nothing here is particularly interesting. Let's see. I can try Zen and the thief here in Zen. It's possible he'll have something good for me. I don't have too much money, but we'll see.
It's also good to note that the World of Ruin and World of Balance Zen has two different prices. So if one seems to be a little extreme on the high end, check the other world to see if it's a little bit lower.
Yep, and that price can be anything from 1 to 56,000 or so.
Yeah, that's about right.
So that one was in the 54,000s, which is a little extreme. Nope, still nothing particularly interesting in any of these item shops. Gonna keep looking. I do want to find, hopefully, another pair of running shoes. That's what I'm really hoping for right now. Because that should make the tentacles fight. Okay. So we have the Atma weapon. It's 42,000 gold. Do you think that's a worthwhile purchase?
I do not.
Why not? It tells me I have 255 battle power.
Well, the weapon scales based on the character's maximum HP, and while it might be good after around level 55, it's not viable here because it's not going to be doing very much damage.
But that dragon horn's a bit of a boon.
The dragon horn is definitely worth it, though. I would almost buy two since you bought two pairs of boots.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hoping for those dragoon strats to pay off in the end, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Edgar might not have a command that is particularly useful, or he could have a really nice one. That's always something to take in consideration. While the commands are random, it does not mean that they're random with only the characters that are available for play. You can still get things like Shock, you can get Health, that's on General Leo and Bannon in the vanilla game. So you have a few other possible chances of getting some really neat spells.
Absolutely. One of the ones that has been disallowed from this particular flag set is Possess, which is on the Ghost.
It's on the Ghost.
And do you know why that particular one tends to be disallowed?
I believe you can take out a few bosses with that instantly, right?
Every boss in the game. If you have possess, there is no defense against it. There is a downside. The character who uses possess removes themselves from the party entirely. Just they remove themselves from the party and go back to the airship.
So you're gonna play a lot of character shuffling
Yes.
if you decide to use that strat.
What magic do I have? I have Bolt 2 and Meteor.
Oh, you missed the crate.
Yep, I did. I don't actually know where the crate is there.
Oh, it's the one with the girl running around in circles. It's the second crate.
Ah. I'll try to remember that for next time then. Here I'm just going to check this relic shop, and then I just had an idea of how I can try to break open this seed a little bit more. I can go try to take out a dragon.
That's right.
So the dragons I have available to me are World of Ruin Narsh,
Mount Zozo.
Mount Zozo, and Fanatic's Tower. World of Ruin Narsh tends to be the first one that I try if I'm just going for dragons, because there is a save point right next to them.
And we can also check the Tritok spot for a easy boss and a possible Esper or item.
Absolutely. Whew, that dragon moves fast. Had me a little nervous there for a second. Gold dragon. Well, you're the least frightening thing on the face of the planet.
So the gold dragon is more like of a damage race.
And it tends to cast very low-level spells, so... And you can see that Dragon Horn is allowing Cyan to land multiple times for every jump. Really makes things a lot more effective.
And that the number of times he jumps, that's 1 to 4, right?
That is 1 to 4, and it is random. Or, sorry, 2 to 4. With a Dragon Horn, he will never just hit once. He will always hit at least twice.
So, also something worthwhile noting, though, while you have the Dragon Horn and the Dragon Boots, if there are multiple targets on the field, you will not be able to target which one the character is jumping on.
You can target the first land, but the other lands will choose their own targets.
Right.
Come on, Durgan. Leave my presence, please. Thank you. So you will see that this will give a decent amount of XP, very good magic points, some good gold. So 9,050 magic points, a couple of levels, a crystal orb, and a Ragnarok.
So now the Ragnarok's a game changer right there.
Yep. And even though it is... it won't get the double damage from the Dragoon set. I think I'm going to keep the Dragoon set on him just because it's also defensive. So let's check this boss since we're here.
Right.
I'm going to check off the ice dragon because I check off the dragon's spot, not the dragon that I found.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's an easy fight.
Yep. And, I mean, we're really seeing the power of Realm's base magic power.
Mm. Now, if you wanted to keep that spear on Cyan, you could still equip the Ragnarok on Realm with that merit award.
I could, actually. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. There we go. Couple of levels. Check this off. We'll get another Esper. Hey, we need those Magicite. And just so I can show, just says there's an opening in the cliff. Without Umaro, I cannot jump down there. So I am going to equip that back on Realm so that she can start working on the cure. And we're going to warp stone out. All right. At this point, do I go for the guaranteed character at Kefket Narsh and try to deal with Inferno, or do I try the Tentacles fight again? What do you think?
At this point, I would probably go for Cyan's Dream.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking as well. I've got a lot of power here on both Realm and Cyan. I think I could make my way through that Tentacles fight.
I think the only way to get through that Inferno at this point would be to equip that Ragnarok on Realm.
With the merit award, yeah.
But you still have to be pretty lucky at this current level.
Yeah, I am a few levels higher, but also because I gained that extra Esper, the enemies gained 3 levels as well. I do find progress ×3 to be sort of a double-edged sword. It makes it harder in the beginning, but then as your enemies gain more levels, they give you more XP. So it does become easier to get your own level higher. So there are a lot of people who sort of poo-poo the Meteor spell because it has very low magic power, but it hits everything. It's non-elemental. It's still better than nothing in a pinch.
Yep, especially if you want to spread that damage.
You know what? I think those Mirage Vests are actually helping to protect against those seizes. I didn't actually know that would help, but it's good to know.
Now, when you were picked up by the Tentacles with the Seize ability, they do roughly about around 60 per tick.
Mm-hmm.
They will do that amount of damage to you regardless of the scaling, I believe. It will be around 60 per tick. So if you try to encounter this really low, finding something to avoid those seizes is very helpful.
Yes. That is a very fixed amount of damage. That's sort of hard-coded into how the ability of these particular enemies works.
Well, we got one down.
Starting to feel a little bit better about this. Fascinating. So the Seize won't slow you if you have the image on, but if you're already slowed, it can pick you up even if you have that image.
That is interesting.
At some point, I have been petitioning Atma to change the name of the ability discard to Yeet. I don't know why he hasn't done this immediately. It's my most brilliant idea. Right, and we can see just by taking that dragon, taking that Tritalk fight, getting a few more pieces of equipment, it has actually made this Tentacles fight from something that was basically impossible to very, very doable. Particularly, Cyan, if you keep proc and flare on those tentacles. So this just goes to show that, like, there are ways to find your way around and, make your way through various parts of this game if you get stuck. Like, if you get stuck, it's not game over.
Nope. You did just get Alexander. Could possibly be a great Esper.
Could be. Ice 2, Ice 3, Doom. You bet I'll take that.
And Remedy. I love that Remedy. Times 20.
It's fine.
It beats having to worry about items.
True.
Out of battle.
Oh, Cyan's dream.
So if you still find yourself looking for items, I do know that Ravelin did skip the last car. There are 2 items in that car, but they do take a little bit of time to get them. And look, you just saved yourself 42,000 gold.
Yeah, by getting an Atma weapon that I think I'm actually just going to sell for 21,000 gold. And I did save over my save outside of this. Not what I meant to do, but here's hoping.
We're in it to win it. So,
this does mean that the required progression is Edgar at Kefkat Narsh. Because that Kappa there will be an Esper or an item.
It is good to know, while you were in that... Oh, you can actually go straight up, back up into there. Well, you can go either.
Yep.
Either way. So you have 2 different ways you can kind of manipulate this little section right here, in the dream. But that last car that you were in the on the train, you don't have to hit any of those switches. And for the longest time when I played this way back when, I thought you always had to hit those switches before leaving that room.
Fascinating. Those are the same items available in the dream or outside of the dream. Had never actually checked that before, so. Cool.
Do you always skip that item on the right too?
I usually do, yeah.
So there's no cheesing this fight today.
No, there is not. But it still should be weak to holy. Like, that was not an insignificant amount of damage it just did.
We need a fun spriter to make a Batman sprite for Alexander.
We are always looking. There are many ways to get involved in the Worlds Collide community. We do not currently have our own spriter, so if you would like to apply for that position, it is open. Realm is really showing, her magic stat is very, very high. And that is what she is best at. So here's hoping that that Haydn will go down soon. Downside of leaving Realm alone is that she's the only target for them to hit.
Luckily, she has that force shield. It's doing work.
It really, really is. That's a lot of damage on Cyan. Which, funny to note, they will actually take poison damage in the air. Ha! Perfect. Important thing to note about Cyan's Dream Check. After you beat this boss, you still need to go back to the throne room to get your final reward. This also means that if I find any characters with sword tech, they'll have all of them. By the item to the right, did you mean that one? Which is a gold hairpin, which thank you for reminding me of that.
Yes, that item.
Well, that's nice. So you do need to go back to the throne room, and we got a behemoth suit. Which is
also really nice.
Certainly not nothing. All right, now we do need to sort of plan out how we are going to approach this Inferno battle up at Narsh. Because our enemies are going to be at level 24-ish. And what is our level? 25. So
what spells do you have? Well, you have the bolt that will do damage.
Bolt 2. I can try to learn Ice 3. I actually think Bolt 2 will probably be enough. Especially if I put on... I have to wear the Memento Ring. And then I could wear the Merit Award and...
boost your magic through the Ragnarok.
Yep. So that brings my magic power to 61.
And don't forget your force shield, because Optimum changed that.
Yep. So that is planning for this battle and this battle only, which also means that I need a Moogle charm. Somewhere. There it is. So this actually happens in Seeds fairly often, is you will find that there is exactly one route of progression, and you got to do it, no matter how much you don't want to do a Kefket Narsh battle with a single character.
Mm-hmm.
And
now you're going at this battle at around the same level, though, and there's still always the other option of over-leveling.
There is. there is that option. I try not to use that option as much as possible. I think it's more interesting and engaging to find other ways. But I did save outside here, so we can go back to World of Ruin Narsh and take a few dinosaurs out if we need to.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely the fighting with mechanics is definitely more entertaining and probably more fun. But however, while the bosses have increased in level, so has the random encounters. So the even the Narsh town might be more desirable at this point than it was before. Here's to not getting hit by Delta hit.
I have the... Oh my god, 700 damage?
Ooh, that's skilled.
Well, that was terrible.
That was what a few levels, can do. You're also hitting for about 800 more as well.
Okay. So, we're going to grind a couple of levels. We're going to get at least Ice 3 here on Realm. And try it again. I firmly believe I have yet to find a seed that is impossible. Have you found a seed that was unbeatable yet?
No, not yet.
And between the two of us, we've easily played over 100 seeds.
Oh, easily. I will say though, my playstyle, while it might not be more geared towards the racing side, I do like to ramp up the difficulty in my seeds, and really kind of see how strong enemies can be, versus the equipment you have. So I really enjoy the progression times 3, and I do like to add some like a few levels to those enemies as well. Kind of keeps it interesting, and you get kind of used to doing a few battles here and there. Hopefully, when you're faced with this kind of situation, though, you have lock, so you can get a curse shield. Because I'm a big fan of decursing the curse shield.
Yep, it is certainly can make things a lot nicer. Turns out those bunnies aren't worth that much. But pipsqueaks are.
Technically, you're fighting inside the house.
Technically, yes. Realistically, what I want is Ice 3. And then I also think I'll put the Mirage Vest back on Realm to absorb a few more of those hits. I think that might be slightly more beneficial than the Behemoth Suit's extra magic power.
Mm-hmm.
Picking up those Mirage Vests might have been a more clutch play than I thought they were at the time when I bought them.
Yeah, I like to use Mirage Vest even on Kefka. It will avoid calmness.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, they are a fantastic piece of gear for that ability. Their stats themselves are a little low, but the ability is very, very good. Should only be a couple more battles, and then we will have Ice 3 and a few more levels under our belt, which is still helpful.
We also do have the option of peeking into Fnatic's tower and killing a dragon really quick. That would have been a way to get some easy spells and possibly an item. But it is a little bit of a climb and a time sink.
The other one, we could have done the Opera House Dragon. It occurs to me as well, but... So even in situations like this, there are still lots of options available.
Also, what I like to normally do in the beginning of a seed, if like I haven't gotten any good items whatsoever, I will check the South Figaro Cave and possibly mount Colts for some quick items, because you can run through there pretty quick.
Yep. All right, so we are now a couple levels higher. You know what? Let's go kill that Opera House Dragon. That's an easy one to get to. It's, it's not deep in a dungeon. That'll help us out as well.
Have you learned float yet?
I believe the answer to that question is yes.
So we can go ahead and cast a precast float on ourselves to avoid a quick quake if it happens to be a dirt dragon. However, they can still pull you to the ground, but avoiding that first quake is nice.
Yep. And we'll see how powerful Realm's Ice 3 is at this point. It's a lot. White Dragon actually has some of the lowest HP of all the dragons, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this is one of the dragons I really don't sweat it on. Pearl can do some good damage, but you should be fine here.
Yeah. It'll also give me a better lance to use for Cyan for his jumps. Because I believe you get the Pearl Lance at the end of this.
Yeah, I believe so.
Which has the minor downside, and I think it is actually more of a downside than an upside, of being wholly elemental. Lots of the later enemies in the game, they absorb holy, and that gives you a sad time.
But getting it early on, where you're getting it, is going to be very beneficial. There's still a lot of bosses coming up.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's a dragon down.
Gives me a Pearl Lance and a Snow Muffler.
That Snow Muffler is huge.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the Snow Muffler there on her. The reason I'm choosing the Snow Muffler over the Mirage Vest is just, if you take a look, my defense is now 196, which is just going to absorb a lot, and it keeps my magic block and evade still pretty high.
Was Cyan not able to equip that Pearl Lance?
Nope. That is the downside of random or original plus random. Sometimes you don't get the equipment you want, but that does mean Edgar. I think after I'm done this battle, I'm going to take Realm. I'm going to take the Ragnarok off of her. I'm going to put the Ragnarok on Cyan and give the Dragon Boots Dragon Horn combo to Edgar because he is able to equip all of the lances. So I'll have Edgar being a Dragoon, Cyan able to just hit with the Ragnarok and realm casting spells.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, thank you for pointing out that dragon was an option. That Snow Muffler, I think, is actually more beneficial even than the Ice 3 spell that I learned was.
Yep, it's just a great piece of equipment. High evasion, magic block. It's just so good. And it happens to be the equipment that Umaro starts with, because he's the best.
He is the best Sasquatch.
Not only have the dragons been very beneficial to progressing in the seed, but they're also the requirement too. So only one more dragon left.
2, I think. It was 4 dragons, and I've killed the Narsh one and the Opera House one, right?
Didn't you, Oh, yeah, that's right. We didn't kill the red dragon.
I tried the Mount Zozo dragon. It didn't go very well.
You can get it now, though.
Absolutely. And I think I will probably go and grab that one at some point. Whether it's the next thing I grab or not is a little up for debate.
It might be beneficial waiting for a new Esper to grab some quick spells.
So Realm was doing about 1,700 damage with Bolt 2. She's doing almost 2,000 with Ice 3. So that is helpful. I think she still has a Memento Ring equipped. It should be okay. But again, you are seeing some of that evasion really come through. I'm going to feel real silly if I didn't have the Memento Ring equipped on her there.
Just a few more casts and you got it.
I hope so. I'm a little sick of this Inferno battle, I gotta tell you. But I'm not sick of these epic blocks from Realm. Let's see. I don't have any elixirs or ethers. Magicite it is.
Oh, I'd hit him with the Ragnarok.
That's a good point. Did that Magicite just do nothing?
I think you blocked it.
Really hoping for a flare proc off of this Ragnarok swing.
Hopefully we get a desperate attack or something.
Not sure Realm's actually low enough HP for that to happen. Desperation attack? Nope. Flare proc? Anything? Realm, come on, honey. Come on, Murder Child. I need you to be the Murder Child. That's a desperation attack, and it missed!
Oh, man.
Okay. So I think what we actually need to do here is...
Buy some cures.
No, I'm actually just going to try using cyan and jumps.
Yeah, that might work.
He's going to...
It actually might be even better with the taking out the arms.
So, interestingly, I don't think he can equip the memento ring. So I just sort of have to hope that he's in the air for the...
The arms have to be intact for the delta to hit, right?
True. So the more I play this seed, the more I'm thinking that this shouldn't be Moogle's first seed part 2. Maybe this is Moogle's first seed part 3, considering the challenge of this particular seed.
Mm-hmm.
The next one I record might be, hey, this one's actually part 2. But, you know, as they say, rando's gonna rando. You know, you have no idea. You know, I've submitted this to multiple marathons, and I have to give a very long time estimate because I'm like, I don't know what the rando's going to decide to do to me today.
And you know what? To be honest, most of the randos I've played, they are all similar in that sense. You know, you can have a seed that can go very quickly, and you might have a seed like this that's more challenging at first. But once we actually get past this Inferno, I'm pretty confident that the seed's going to go much faster.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to kind of slingshot in that direction with 3 characters. Edgar's got some really easy checks. It's almost guaranteed that he's going to have a character on that throne, which is a free check. Or the character is going to be behind the Figaro basement, which would be the only check that would require you to actually kill something for that character. But the Ancient Castle is another free check. You don't have to fight anything there unless you want to.
So I am aiming the first jump at that front claw each time just to try to take it out to reduce the chance of a delta hit. But he's landed his other jumps right on Inferno, except for that time, so... Oh. Sure.
This is different.
Okay. Other ideas?
Let's go after the Fanatics Tower Dragon real quick. Or the Mount Zozo Dragon. There's 2 dragons we can still kill.
Why not?
Have we checked the shop on the airship yet?
No. Okay. Yeah, I definitely would not recommend this seed for people's, second guided experience.
The flag set might be good. It's just this just happened to be a very tricky randomized seed.
I mean, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible locations. Only one of them, a single one of them, had a character. Dems the brakes, though. I've definitely hit those during community races, during my Kefka Grand Prix seeds. You know, it happens.
But truly, the next time we start out with Realm and Cyan, we'll still be pretty happy about that start.
Oh, 100%. Especially with the magic that's available. Like, we have a lot of power here. It's just there's a particular boss that forces us right now to attempt it with one character that is very, very challenging with only a single character.
Now, the other major difference would be to, if you'd like to try these flags out, wouldn't changing the enemy scaling, the scaling abilities to make them a little easier?
Yes, that is also possible. Don't know why I just fought with Realm when she's got Ice 3 against the Fire Dragon. I made choices. Cyan, if you could have gotten more of those flare procs on Inferno, we might not be here right now. Just saying.
I'm crossing my fingers for a Paladin shield for you.
It's a flame shield. Like, it's not terrible. Alright, you've learned everything you can there. Life Dispel. Life Regen. Cure 2.
Flame shield's alright, but it's not what we're looking for. We can't stop that Grand Train. So it's more of a damage race at this point.
Yeah. Let's get out of here and just grab that last dragon that we can and see what happens from here on out.
Now we're about to enter the Fanatics Tower, and what's funny about the Fanatics Tower, if you've never played the vanilla game, we can only use the magic command and items. So it's going to make this encounter a little goofy, but I'm pretty confident that Ravlin has the abilities on Realm to take out the boss.
And Cyan's not going to be useless. He does have Meteor. And if I'm here, I might as well grab the treasure chests. Also because I always forget which level the dragon's on.
Now, a good strat for this tower, though, if you don't have magic on some characters, if you happen to get Berserk in your arsenal, cast Berserk on your party members. They will start attacking.
That is also a way to deal with Magimaster, although you do need to be aware if he has the Ultima counter or not.
Hey, Storm Dragon.
Durgan. I do love how they abbreviated things here. We can see Realm is not only using a more powerful spell, but her higher base magic stat just means that she does way more damage with magic than Cyan ever would dream of doing. I believe Cyan has the worst magic stat in the game. Locke,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Locke might give him a run for his money.
I love how the animation actually worked on Realm, but it still said miss.
Mm-hmm. There we go. 4 dragons down. At this point, I don't know. Ah. Well, that'll do it.
Hey, Force Armor. And a gem box.
I was going to say, it's the gem box that's going to do it. The force armor doesn't matter at this point. That just means Realm will be able to cast 2 instances of Ice 3 each round, and that should be enough. I hope. She also should have the Osmos spell so that she can get her MP back from Inferno himself. If this doesn't do it, I will admit to being a little salty about it. And it's been a day or two since this game's made me salty. But one thing I would point out to anyone who is learning this game, and I know I said this last time, but like with any game, if you're not having fun, stop playing. Like, if you find yourself getting in a situation like this and getting frustrated and getting upset, roll another seed. Radio guy, you don't have any idea, man. This is, it is required Kefka at Narsh with Inferno.
I did clip your Inferno kill.
That one was so depressing. So depressing.
I saved it for you.
I appreciate your kindness. So we're going to do the Merit Award, the gem box. You're going to empty. You're going to have that. Force shield.
At 129, though.
That 129, but it's more physical attack, so I think actually that evades better.
Yeah, the evade is better. I'd probably almost do the Mirage Vest just to. But the
regular defense is so good.
How much does it cost to cast Ice 3?
52.
52? Oh, you're good.
I've also got Osmos. So. Let's give that a save. Let's say we're prepared again, even though it is what it is.
We're ready.
Ready as I'll ever be. So I do know in Beyond Chaos there's a little Moogle shop up there. It confused the living heck out of me the first time I played that, and there was something up there.
In Return of the Dark Sorcerer, there's also a shop there too.
There you go, Realm. Keep blocking. This might be the first time that I've played this game where a gem box was like incredibly helpful for progression purposes and not just for killing thing purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the memento ring on. I can't have both the Ragnarok and the memento ring. That is a mild issue here.
Oh, that one. All right, now we're prepared.
It's just... this is still just not good. I mean, this is even more a damage race than it was before. Because I'm going to be able to block and evade fewer of those physical attacks. I just have to hope that I can get off enough. Rough seed. Come on. Woohoo, woohoo. That's what I get for screwing around. Ooh, losing the Ragnarok also lost about 300 damage a cast. All right, let's play it safe. Osmos is, I think, one of the less recognized as incredibly powerful spells because it just sucks MP from the enemy. It's real useful.
Oh, Osmos is great.
Come on, my man. I need you to stop existing, please. Or you can cast Delta Hit every turn you want. Flippin' finally. Oh my good lord. Alright, so first I need to fix some equipment. That looks fine. That looks fine. You're just going to optimum into that Pearl Lance. And you're getting Dragoon equipment. And some spells. There we go. Having someone else learning Cure seems like a good plan. Okay, now that we have made our way through that massive roadblock, I'm going to head to the World of Ruin, do the Cave of South Figaro, and head immediately into Edgar's 3 checks. I don't have a Moogle Charm equipped. Edgar is a natural magic user with life 3 and quarter. He also has throw. Okay. So if we were to try to tell people how to get through that particular Inferno check, it would be kill all the dragons, make sure you have Ice 3 and a Memento Ring equipped on Realm. And the gem box. That is what was required to get through that check. You know what? We're here. Going to save. Let's see what this monster in a box is. So pugs are interesting enemies in that they have the possibility, I believe it is 1 in 8 each time for each one of them, to drop a Minerva. Minervas are pretty good.
Minervas are great. Even better than the snow mufflers, in my opinion.
I mean, arguably the best piece of armor in the game.
Mm-hmm. As long as your character can equip it.
Shh, don't tell me about the problems yet. Another nice thing about jump is that I don't believe jump can miss.
I don't think so.
I've at least never seen it.
At least not in this game.
I'm trying to think of what other games you have jump in that can miss.
I played a few ROM hacks that you might be able to miss.
Ah. Those would be ROM hacks for the purpose of increasing the difficulty.
A little bit, sometimes.
I mean, it's okay if you're a masochist. I won't hold it against you. Just don't. I'm not sure that would be up my alley.
I like games that make me think outside the box.
Were you a fan of the Demons and Dark Souls games?
No.
Okay.
Particularly because I don't really enjoy the third person running around.
Oh. So, when we get to the ancient castle, we will be able to kill another dragon. I don't need to. But again, because of this particular the settings here on Locke, if you could have come a little bit earlier, man. That would have been great. On the treasures and shops, I think I might actually take that dragon, just in the hopes of getting some more good gear.
Mm.
And even if the gear that I get from it isn't fantastic, the XP I will get from it will help make up for the fact that my gear in the seed is less good.
That, and you can learn some quick spells on your new characters.
I don't think Edgar's going to be casting very much. I think he's going to be a little... his head's going to be a little too much in the clouds for that.
Well, you'll also have Locke, too.
Fair.
Hey, Ice Rod.
Once again, the phrase too little too late comes to mind.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if this is leader. Oh, just as easy.
Right?
So, Bomb Eater, or Flame Eater is one of those enemies where it can be very easy. If you have the scaling up pretty high, they can be troublesome. The Ice 3 is very good, but I really do like the idea of confusing all of the bomblets with a noise blaster. If you are too low and you don't have any ice abilities.
Ooh, Locke has Rage. Rage is one of those abilities that's either phenomenal or utterly useless. I am a big fan of Rage, particularly if you can pair it with, say, an offering. So, you know what? Before I forget, I'm going to put an Esper on you. That seems fine. And see what rages you have. Soldier, Leafer.
You're not going to equip one on Edgar, though?
I think he already has one. I might want to change it, but there is nothing very good there in terms of rages.
Oh. Okay. At least you're getting the stamina +1.
Stamina +1 is technically an Esper boost. Doesn't really do that much, though.
Not a whole lot. I believe it has to do with the ticking damage of poison, right?
The tick of poison and the tick of regen. That's an XP egg. Once again, the phrase too little too late comes to mind. Anything good that I can get for half price here?
Get those tinctures. Well, you don't need them anymore.
Yeah, I realized as soon as I hit buy that I have Osmos, so they're not strictly needed, but you know.
And there's the infamous weapon that has given me trouble in the past, the stunner. It does inflict stop on enemies. Can be very useful. But it can also kind of mess with some strategies if you're not careful about it.
Yep. So now we're going down into the ancient castle. This is another place that has multiple monsters in a box. I tend to like to check those, particularly if I'm looking for something like an offering. Not that I actually have particularly useful things to pair with an offering, but still. Ooh, that Thunder Shield is good. So we'll pop a quick save here. Empty chests, I gotta tell you, I find the empty chests the most tilting thing in this game. I absolutely hate empty chests. That is one thing that I have been sort of on the petition path trying to get Atma to remove. Black belt and the rename card. Eh. And we will head down here. See what we find. Once again, this is turning into a very, very linear seed. Ugh, another force shield. Don't really need that. Oh, hey, there's that dirt dragon. That was a well-timed float, Cyan. I do appreciate you for your service there. I now appreciate your service of being dead. So again, that dragon wasn't strictly speaking necessary to kill, but gained me a lot of XP, a lot of MP, a Magus Rod, and some Genji armor, which is useful stuff. Not particularly game-breaking at this point, but I definitely appreciate having it. I want the Thunder Shield on you. So I definitely plan on hitting up the World of Ruin Narsh for my next one. At that point, I've got to decide between the Phoenix Cave and Tunnel Armor. What do you think? Where would you head next, Vamp?
And you haven't been to the Narsh shop yet?
Nope. I just got locked, so.
So I would probably go to the Narsh shop, and then maybe hightail it over to the armor tunnel, just to get those 2 checks real quick.
And
I
so,
do like to go after the Cursed Shield, but you do have the flagset to 1 to 64.
yeah. I mean, it's worth checking, but it's probably going to be too much. I also don't have a ribbon at this point, which is one of the things I generally like to pair with that Cursed Shield while I'm trying to uncurse it.
Mm-hmm. So this is also a case and example that not every seed, we do like to run these community seeds weekly on the Discord. Uh, Not every seed's going to be 2 hours or less. And this is just a case and example where, sometimes it might take a little bit longer to, figure out how to get through it. And that's okay.
Yep. So that was either a third or fourth force shield or a flame shield. I did take the flame shield, sort of hoping for an Esper that'll teach Merton, because I believe I have enough equipment to absorb or nullify Merton, and I could use Merton strats. Yep, that curse shield is 42 battles. That isn't happening.
Nope.
That's going to be a no from me, dog.
So the thing with the Curse Shield, not only do you have to do all of those battles in random encounters to decurse the shield, it does inflict a lot of nasty status effects. But the key items that you probably want to look for to be viable are either the Peace Ring or a Ribbon, so that way you don't have to deal with Muddle or Berserk. But also there is a mechanic that does not cleanse the shield if you have it equipped to either Umaro or Gogo, I believe. So
Yes.
you don't want to do that.
And that is due to the fact that they don't gain any magic points, and that's how the game tracks how many battles. It has to do with how many battles you have gained magic points from. And there are complex and in-depth programming reasons as to why they don't gain magic points, but realistically, that's neither here nor there. Do you think those potions are going to help Dadalume out?
Not at all.
Not even a little bit?
Nope. He's a very hopeful karate master.
Just rough to be him at this point. Okay. I actually like Umaro more than I like Locke.
Absolutely. Umaro's the best.
He really, really, truly is. Let's just give you the merit award and let you equip anything you want.
Absolutely. That's the way to go.
So, we do know that Umaro is going to lead to Mog, because of what we saw in oh my god, words. Narsh. I just forgot the name of, frankly, all towns in Final Fantasy VI there for a second. So we do know that this is going to lead to another character. So the Yeti is one of the less popular characters among a lot of, particularly the racing community. He is uncontrollably berserk, but he will either attack or body slam normally. The body slam ignores defense, which is very, very good. And then he has 2 unique relics, the Blizzard Orb and the Rage Ring. The Rage Ring will allow him to throw another party member, which will also ignore defense. And the Blizzard Orb lets him cast Storm, which is an ice elemental all-targeting attack. The Yeti does have the highest base stats in the game by far. I should save here. And that's because in the vanilla game, you cannot equip him. He comes with a bone club and a snow muffler. Oh, thank you. That listing is wrong.
Oh, didn't even notice that.
I will take a moment and fix that, because I can do that. This one. There we go. That should fix it. You might need to hit a refresh to do that, but thanks for letting me know. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Do you prefer Zach or Zachary, or does it matter? All right, Zach. So that you know, this is actually a really good time. Are you familiar with the Worlds Collide Randomizer? Oh. Hi, Spicy Chicken. So thank you. Vamp just dropped a link in the chat to the randomizer website. It is an open world randomizer in the vein of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. So you start with the airship, and then each character opens up different checks, which get you more characters and espers. I'm looking for 7 characters, 10 espers to finish the game, or to go into Kefka's Tower. That Merton's gonna hurt. Or it's not, because my equipment's really good right now. So yes, this is in sort of the same family of randomizers. It is relatively new. I don't know, Vamp, we've been around since what? Beginning of the year?
Yep. Easily the beginning of the year. That's when we started to kind of develop the community a little bit and get people introduced to what we're doing here.
Yep. And so you caught us. Actually, I'm working on a series called Moogle's First Seeds. This is the second one that I've recorded, but it might not be part 2. This might end up being part 3, because this seed has been mean. And I'm not sure I necessarily want people doing this seed as like their second guided seed. I saw the Final Fantasy I randomizer community was doing like the Duckling Challenge, where they were bringing people through seeds sort of in a guided manner. So I thought that was a great idea and totally cribbed it and decided to do it for us. Poltergeist's defense is stupidly high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I've really noticed how stupidly high it is. Oh, bye, Edgar. It was nice knowing you.
Doesn't stop work on Poltergeist?
It does, and Umaro has a stunner. I keep hoping for it to proc stop. So yes, Poltergeist is one of the Kefka's Tower's final bosses, often considered one of the most challenging, but weak to ice, and if you manage to proc stop on him, he will just sit there and look silly at you. It's great. And gives an Aura Lance, which is also great. All right, Mog. Let's see what ability Mog has. Mog has health. God, because I did so much grinding so early, all my characters are such a high level that everyone will be viable in Kefka's Tower at this rate. I'll go there, take the free heal. Excuse me, no, I wanted you with the Aura Lance. And we're off. Do I really only have 6 Espers? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, wow. We're off to Mog then.
What were your two choices at the weapon shop again?
Force shield and a flame shield. I took the flame shield. So at this rate, I will say that Final Kefka will likely be a joke for me. In a lot of seeds that I run, this would be the level I would go to Kefka at. And I've got at least 5 more checks to do. And that's assuming none of them are dead checks. So Final Kefka is going to not be my issue tonight. It was a required Kefka at Narsh fight that the boss was Inferno, and I only had 2 characters. So I had to face him alone. Inferno is mean. And unfortunately, because this is the world of balance, I will not be able to use a warp stone. Oh, good, it's a character. You're right. I will never get that Zarina ring. Not gonna happen. Celis has steel. Not that useful to me. So here I'm going to go do Celis' Cell because that is a quick and free check, and then I'm going to go to the Magitech Factory because That's 3 chances at an Esper right there.
Yep, you could be ready to go right after that Magitech factory.
What do you want to bet I'm going to get 2 characters? One in Celis' cell and one from the factory.
That is a very high chance at this point, too.
I mean, all the other characters could be gated behind the Phoenix Cave and locked.
I wouldn't mind Terra being a next character, though, or a Setzer for a quick check.
Or even Sabin.
Hmm.
Or actually, I think anyone but Strago has at least some version of a fast check. So would you say even for someone who's less of a racing mindset, so a player more like you, Vamp, at this point you're just like, I just want to get the checks and go to Kefka's Tower now?
I would still I would be ready to go for Kefka at this point for sure. Even with my 100% mindset, the seed has been pretty rough. I would probably finish the game.
Hey, Bolt 3 is nice. I'll take it. If this were earlier on or my levels were not as absurd as they are, I would probably take the Opera House, but I just don't feel the need at this point.
Now keep in mind that the final battles are still not scaled, so Final Kefka will still be level 71, but with Ravlin's current gear, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. The only thing I'm mildly worried about is I don't really have anything to deal with calmness, but on the flip side, every single one of my party members is a high enough level to be relevant in the Kefka fight.
Mm. You do have Mirage Vests if you want to at least put one character in one. But that's not very good for all the other spells he's going to be throwing at you.
Yeah. I do love the music of the Magitech Factory.
I do too. It does sound like a real factory.
None of the factories that I've worked in, but it's what I imagine a factory to sound like.
Some of the ones I've worked at actually do sound similar to that. At least the crashing noises.
Now, my factory, there are definitely crashing noises, but it's almost universally a bad thing when that happens. I work in pharmaceuticals making drugs. Things crashing is bad. I suppose the real question is, how many incredibly valuable pieces of equipment have you dropped on the floor and broken? Because it's at least 2 for me.
More than I'd care to admit.
Oh, Umaro, keep going, man. That was a lot of damage there, my dude. All right, Goddess, you're done.
Now, So the tricky thing with the Magitech Factory, you still have random plus 20% bosses. So that minecart ride, you could possibly face another few goddesses.
I could.
Um,
I
but goddess does drop Excaliburs. I do like that.
I get a magic power plus 2 Esper now when my characters are in the mid 40s.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why I don't worry too much about Esper bonuses. If I get them early, great. If not, they're just an extra line of text that I'm not even worried about.
Are you going to keep that stunner on Umaro?
Yeah, why not? It's the highest battle power weapon he can equip right now.
Can't you put the Excalibur on him?
I would actually have to check. I'm not sure. Oh, he does have Merit Award on. I probably can.
Mm-hmm. Now, normally we would be using a life item on Sir Behemoth Phase 2, but the undead turn-off flag set has been enabled. So Sir Behemoth Phase 2 is no longer undead.
There we go. There we go. So now I'm going to double check my count. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Espers. I'm not going to do the last one here. I'm going to leave and go to the auction house. Or the guy in Zen, actually, as well. Getting 3 Espers right in a row there from Celis has really put the gas pedal on this seed. There we go. 7 characters, 10 Espers.
And that was about 14,000 gold cheaper than the one in World of Ruin.
Yeah.
Hey, strength plus 2.
Yep. Last 2 Espers I get.
This is why Umaro needs Espers.
Umaro's vigor's already like 60. Okay.
But you could turn the Sasquatch into the Hulk, though.
And now we jump into the tower and make our way to the end of the game. I will say this did take a little bit longer than I was anticipating. So grab yourself a Moogle Charm. And I don't want a Pearl Lance on you. Because I actually want this party to be... We're just going to do this by ignoring the battle and jumping out of it. Although I still need a Moogle Charm. So for people, you can actually fight the boss here at the Atma spot. It will give you, just like the dragons, a rare item reward and the save point there. I think I have fought that spot once, twice maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it is there and it is an option. Hey, look, another Magicite item. What do you want to bet it'll summon Crusader? You really don't need that anymore. You can wear a Moogle charm and you'll be fine, my Umaro dude. So typically I put my most powerful party in the 3rd slot because they face the most required bosses. But Murder Child will Murder Child all over things, I'm sure. Hey, at least I knew that this fight wasn't going to be Inferno.
All right.
I do have to say one of my favorite flags that we haven't put on for one of these Moogle's first seeds yet is random bosses, where it could have been another Inferno. Actually, I know why I don't want the Excalibur equipped on Umaro. At least not for the final battle. Because if he hits girl, she absorbs all elements. I will take a little bit of a stat loss so that he can do damage to her. I really want to know how these people are just pushing around 4-ton weights. Are these things on wheels?
They gotta be. Or there's a pallet jack dropping with them.
Right? I am the worst driver of pallet jacks. Excuse me. Oh, hey, I didn't know that. If you use X magic, it'll respawn the piranhas in between the casts. Nifty. It's really cool to know that months into playing this game, or this randomizer, I'm still learning things about the vanilla game that I've been playing since it came out.
And I believe that that will continue to happen as time passes. We will always find a way to change the game, break it with its own mechanics, without altering its code.
And then you add into the fact that we have a tendency to also alter its code.
That is true.
I say we, I mean Atmotech, our developer.
But if you look at other communities, even like the Zelda community, they're still finding tricks in the game like a month ago. It's crazy.
And the other thing that amazes me about that, you know, these SNES games are what, 3 or 4 megabytes? They are so compact, and yet there is still so much depth that can be found in them.
They can start at around 1 megabyte all the way, and they can even be expanded to upwards of 8 megabytes. And the ROM hacking community found that out. There's some funny workarounds with the code to make that happen.
But, like, I have pictures that are more memory intensive than this game. And yet the mechanics on games like this can be so in-depth. Woohoo! Oh my god, Umaro is level 54. Sure. I'm not even sure what mean bosses are left. Doom and... Remember how you said it was going to be really funny if I fought Leader?
This is a good finish to the scene. For sure.
Piranhas, Leader, like, come on. Although that axe just did an enormous amount of damage to Cyan. Holy crap. That's what happens when you use the normalized stats flag. Leader just did 6k damage. Might want to clip that one too. Oh god, what easy bosses are left? What, tunnel armor? Welk? Rexol's fine. Right, Mog has the Pearl Lance. I suppose this is the safest way to do a boss battle, just don't be in it most of the time. Edgar, that was a fantastic series of jump targets. I was going to say, this Rixol has a lot of HP. What's going on?
A lot of experience gain, too.
That's exactly what I needed here.
Be careful with that Pearl Lance, too.
Yeah, Mog is going to be the probably first runner-up here. So probably won't come into play until Final Kefka. Probably he'll replace someone after the tier 3. If I had to guess.
Mm.
So we have Cyan, Edgar, Realm, Umaro, Oxel's Lock. So it says something when the guy with the Ragnarok is the doing the least damage. And there is Realm earning her moniker of Murder Child. Just wrecking ridiculous amounts of face. I'm not sure that tier could have gone any better. Come on, why'd you miss the Doom on tools? Thank you. Edgar got his cure and he's like, bye-bye. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 2 hits fell on Umaro, who would take 1 damage. Once again, this is going just about as textbook as you could hope for. Ooh, she actually has slightly less than her normal amount of HP here. Normalize and distort stats. It can also make them slightly weaker. Good lord, so much damage. Oh, that's unfortunate. Realm's not going to get a spell off. Awesome. I just lost my 2 biggest damage dealers. Not that it matters, it's just annoying. Again, I suppose that is one of like the major advantages to party members joining at the average level and having to grind so much at the beginning, is that it made all of my characters join at a ridiculously high and useful level. Do I have a remedy? I have a single remedy. Cool. No other eye drop or anything.
Yeah, next potion.
Yes? Apparently, I didn't know this, but you can sketch Kefka.
Oh, yeah?
You want to know what he uses?
What does he use?
Ultima.
Oh, wow.
But the real question becomes, why would you ever have the character with sketch in your party at this point in the game? Could you not, like, keep killing my people? Kefka, like, that'd be great. I don't think Mog's gonna survive this. It is great to see Havoc Wing do so little. Oh. Gross. Hey, Umaro. Ball's in your court now. Hands off the controller. I have zero input in the rest of this game. Umaro, pick something other than your regular swing, please. You're blinded. Kefka's the other way. There is a chance that I wipe here. Especially if Umaro keeps doing that. Body tackle, please, Umaro. Oh, come on. You can do it, man. You can do it. One more. One more. That should be enough. There we go. Oh, my God. Ah!
That was a good one.
All right. So, we learned a few things here. I'm still going to put this up as, Moogle's First Seed Part 2, with the caveat to at least the one person who's following along, don't play this seed blind. Watch what happened to me first before you embark upon this seed. But let's see if there are no folks playing Worlds Collide on Twitch that I can host, because I need to take a little break after that seed. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyone playing any other randomizers that I like? There is not. I don't have anyone that I can send us to.
Yeah, my list looks like everyone seems to be logged out right now too.
Eh, there's someone in our community who I will send us to.
Oh,
All right, so we're gonna raid Siberian Bull. Tell him that Worlds Collide sent you. Let's do it.